Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another transfer talk roundup show. You know how it is. We do these every day, rounding up all the latest Aston Villa transfer news, and still pretty busy. Few more players getting linked to Aston Villa over the course of the day. But before we get into it, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Please help us continue to grow. We're on the road to 10k now after smashing past 5,000 subscribers. And get your comments in, your thoughts on the latest players linked to Aston Villa. We've got defenders, we've got attackers, we've also got links with players moving on out of Aston Villa as well. So let's talk about the potential incomings. It's now been talked about that Aston Villa are on the lookout for and have inquired about Axel Disasi from Chelsea. He looks like he is leaving Chelsea on loan potentially, and L'Equipe in France have talked about Aston Villa and Juventus being in contact with Axel Disasi on loan or potentially a permanent deal. Now, he comes under quite a lot of criticism from Chelsea supporters. Can be a bit erratic, and I guess he's a strong, powerful defender, but is prone to making the odd mistake. 6'3" centre back, can play right back as well, which I think is some of the positions where he's played where he hasn't necessarily done himself justice. Only appeared 36 times since 2023 for Chelsea, scoring 4 goals. Before that, played 99 times for Monaco from 2020 to 2023, scoring 7 times in those 99 games. And then Ream played twice and scored twice, in 45 appearances, and graduated via their second team where he played 36 games, scoring 2 goals. He also has 5 caps for France. So he's a full French international and signed for Chelsea on a 6-year deal for £38.5 million. So very, very highly rated. Obviously, we know that Chelsea were on a big spending spree. So maybe they overpaid for him. But also, he's obviously a player with pedigree, just, I guess, hasn't hit the heights at Chelsea. Now, if we look at his SofaScore stats for this season, hasn't featured too much in the Premier League for them so far, only appeared 5 times in the Premier League, started 4 games, has scored that 1 goal, hasn't assisted. Obviously, he's more of a defender, but pretty decent in terms of his passing accuracy, 92% overall, 90% in his own half, 94% in the opposition half, 75% in terms of chip passes, and 67% in terms of long balls. Only the 1 clean sheet that he's been involved in, 1.4 tackles per game, 3 ball recoveries, and 2 clearances per game. Now, I'm not sure what it is, and maybe some Chelsea fans, maybe some Villa fans who've watched him closely could tell me what it is that I guess that he's come under a lot of criticism. In terms of duels won, he's at 52%, 71% for aerial duels, but only 44% in the ground duels. So maybe that is an area where he's maybe a bit cumbersome. Maybe he's easy to get past. That could be a potential. Now, in terms of the Conference League, he has played in all of those games, so clearly involved in the Conference League team. Plays down that right-hand channel. So as I say, he's played right back, so maybe that's an area where he has struggled. Maybe he's certainly more comfortable in that centre-back position. Has probably played centre-back as well. 6 appearances, 1 goal, 1 big chance missed, 2 assists, and 1 big chance created. High passing accuracy, again, in the high 90s. But we're talking the Conference League here, so it's extremely easy for Chelsea in that tournament. Certainly easier for Chelsea this season than it was for Aston Villa last season, I will say that. 2 clean sheets and 2.7 ball recoveries. And then if we're looking at the ground duels, again, 39% there. So perhaps, again, that is an area where that is his weakness, and that's not what you want necessarily for a defender. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would a move for Disasi to Aston Villa be good for him, for the club? Would it be something that Unai Emery could work on him with? And certainly at 6'3", and big, strong, powerful lad, potentially someone who could be a useful loan signing for Aston Villa. I'm not leaning towards that, but you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, another player who's potentially very interesting is Galatasaray's Baris Alpa Yilmaz, and looks like an attacking player, playing very well at the moment. Since 2021 has appeared for Galatasaray 95 times, scoring 18 goals, and played for a couple of teams. Ankara before that, scoring 8 times in 34 appearances. Has appeared for Turkey, 24 caps for Turkey, scoring 2 goals. More an attacking midfielder / forward player, and winger. So, could be one who's really exciting for us. And I did say, with Marlon coming in as a swap for Jadon Philogene, which Unai Emery confirmed, maybe there is room for an extra winger, because we certainly need that depth in quality. So who knows what that could be? We are meant to be in a battle with Newcastle and Everton for him, and he's rated at around 25 million euros. Now, in terms of his stats this season, can play down the right-hand side, play down the left-hand side, can play in the middle as well. So very, very versatile in that right wing striker position, but also, as I say, on that left-hand side as well. High pressing and positioning seem to be his strengths. Has 16 starts from 18 appearances, 10 goals already this season, 9 big chances missed. So clearly getting into positions to score, 4 with his left foot, 6 with the right foot. So both-footed player, 9 from inside the box, 1 from outside the box, and 1 assist and 4 big chances created. So at the moment, the player is scoring goals, not getting on the end of chances, which is something that Aston Villa need at the moment as well. 77% in terms of passing accuracy, 79% in his own half, obviously not getting involved too much in his own half, and 69% in the opposition half, and 2.9 ball recoveries per game, pretty decent for an attacking player. And then in terms of successful duels, 42%, and then the 45% in terms of total duels won, 44% ground duels, 47% aerial duels. So not too bad at all for an attacking player, and obviously someone who works very, very hard. So look, interesting one. I don't know if it'll be done in January, but certainly one to look out for in the summer. And it seems like we will be in the market for 1 or 2 attacking players. There could be some refreshing of players done over the course of that summer. Now, in terms of outgoings, obviously the word has been about Diego Carlos, and we've talked about him for a couple of days. But Louie Barry has also been on the end of everyone's lips at the moment in terms of what is going to happen with him. Unai Emery wants to take a look at him throughout the window. Now Celtic are very, very interested in him and have actually talked about a bid of a 7-figure bid. Now, how much that is, who knows? That's an extremely big range. But in terms of his saleability and his attractability, then lots and lots of clubs are interested in him. Now, Celtic could be a really good move. I don't think Aston Villa will want to let him go on a permanent deal right now. I think that is the loan will be the preferable option, unless a bid that can't really be turned down is made. And then I imagine there'll be a buyback clause put in there or something like that. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts. I know we've talked about Louie Barry for quite some time and what his future holds, and whether he would be used in the first team for a few games and increase his value by playing in the Premier League, or whether it would be to move out on loan to another club and get the valuable experience that he might need. Now, going to Celtic, would he get that experience? Would he be more utilised off the bench? Would he be able to handle that atmosphere? Also, could he thrive in that atmosphere with Celtic? So it's an interesting one to play out, because whether Celtic is the best club for him, 14 or 15 points clear in the Scottish Premiership, that could be a good thing, but it could also be a bad thing, and he might be playing in games where they're not quite as bothered, or they're not quite as kind of at it as maybe another club would be. But then you're potentially playing Champions League football, so that could be a real useful task for him as well. So lots and lots of things to ponder with Louie Barry, something that you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, also, Emiliano Buendia has been getting some interest. Apparently, River Plate have contacted Aston Villa to see if they can acquire his services. Obviously came on yesterday against Everton and could be a useful player in the squad over the next few weeks. And we've got lots and lots of games. But for him, he might want to play more football. Whether that's at a club like River Plate, I don't think so. I'm not too sure. But interesting to see them it being lined up with contacting Aston Villa. Now, I don't know if they're in the World Club Cup next summer, but that could be. You know, we're seeing clubs from Brazil, we're seeing clubs from South America go after Premier League footballers. They've maybe got some injections of money. They might want to sign some bigger names or big-ish names for that level of football for those countries. So interesting to see him getting linked with a return back to his home country. So we'll see how that one plays out, because that could be an interesting one. And then Nedeljkovic is interesting. I believe it is Wolfsburg in the German league, potentially on a loan as well. So obviously the Valencia one has fallen through. Aston Villa looking like they're still in the market for a right back, although that has quietened down a little bit. But we know what that means. It could mean that we're about to announce a signing at any time now. So we'll see what happens with Nedeljkovic. He could be going out on loan as well. So look, Villa's still busy, still active in the transfer market. I think Jacob Tanswell reported that Monchi was on his phone constantly at the Everton game last night. So definitely looking to do some deals in the window. We've got Marlon in, but we need one or two others in. So watch this space on that. I'll be back later on this week with another transfer talk roundup with Arsenal preview and hopefully a successful Arsenal reaction. I'll also be at the game, so please do come and say hello. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, help us continue on the road to 10K. Get your comments in, and thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we all follow the Villa.